Wow, as people are coming in, like I promised, guys, it is 1:06. I do want to get started. Yes, I do want to get started, guys. My name is Claudienne Hibbert Smith. I am a realtor of the last 2 decades, and I don't say that lightly. And I want to just share some background before I bring my special guest up. And this is just so you know where I'm coming from, because, at the age of 14, I gave birth to my first son. People say, well, she's not going to make it. She's going to end up in jail and she's probably going to quit and drop out of school. Well, guess what? I changed my own narrative. I did give birth to that son at 14. I graduated from high school at the top of my class as the vice president. See, I had to do a little bit extra because I had to prove the naysayers wrong. Then I went on to the University of Florida. So if I have any Gators on here, yeah, if I have any Gators on here, just drop some fires for me, because then I went on and graduated the top of my class from the University of Florida. And then some of you guys might be familiar with this piece. I got a job. I was excited. Everywhere I went, they were like, UF, you're hired. I was like, these people aren't even asking me for my degree. I'm confused. And so it was amazing. It was amazing. But how many people know what I'm talking about when I say this? It was like I was getting a paycheck, but paying bills from 4 weeks prior to. So I like to think of job as being, and no disrespect, but for me, it was like me being just over broke. And I couldn't understand it. And so let me tell you that the rule that the 5 people that you hang around is important. The rule, the 5 people you hang around. Now, it wasn't 5 at 21 for me. There were about 2 or 3 people. And this one individual who happened to be a mentor of mine bought a house. I knew nothing about buying houses. Yes, my parents owned a house, but they never talked about, home ownership and buying property. They didn't talk about that stuff. And so I watched her buy a house, and the realtor made almost $40,000 in the transaction. And I said, this is impossible. Like, I'm confused. I make $40,000 and it takes me 365 days to do. Something was not registering. And while I always have to say this, I wouldn't ever encourage this. That was 21. I didn't have any job etiquette. I called the people at work and said, I'm not coming back. I had no idea how to get my license. All I knew was that I don't care if I had to go back to school for 2 years. I was going to get my real estate license. So talk about a risk. Talk about me being a single mom at the time. My son is still young. And so I take this risk, and guess what? I realized in Florida, it only took me 63 hours. I knocked it out in a week. But I want to share this with you. I failed my state exam twice. Claudienne was not focused, okay? And I left to go to Dallas, Texas, okay? And I studied and I got my license. Moving along, guys, I became the rookie of the year. I started, all I wanted to do was make a lot of money so I could help a lot of people. That was my only goal, was to make a lot of money. And I knew going into real estate, there was no ceiling on the amount of money that I could make. It would be dependent on my efforts. How many people understand what I'm talking about? So here I am in real estate 20 years later. I go to 10X Growth Con, my second time attending. I remember seeing Grant Cardone coming in a helicopter. And I'm like, this is Super Bowl weekend. I don't even know if people realize that. It was Super Bowl weekend, and the stadium was packed to capacity. My son at the time says, Mom, there's this guy, his name's Grant Cardone. I met him through, what was his name? The other one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And he says, I want to go to his conference. And I didn't care really, to be honest, about seeing Grant. I wanted to spend time with my son because I was busy all the time. And so I said, son, go and see what tickets you want to buy. And he says, I want to buy these tickets over here. I said, great, buy the tickets. We bring some people with us. And it changed my life. My son's decision to follow Grant Cardone changed my life. The weekend was filled to capacity with information. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And so here it comes again. A couple years pass by, and I'm going to GrowthCon again, and I meet this young lady by the name of Elena Cardone. Yes, I knew that they were with eXp. And I'll be honest with you guys. Some of you guys will be just like me. You probably have said no over and over and over again. But the power of follow-up, the power of touching people. I meet this lady at lunch, okay? We had a VIP lunch and I meet her there and she talks to me nothing about real estate. She's like, oh my God, hi, Claudienne, nice to meet you. And we're talking, it was just so organic. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like she talked to me about real estate. She knew I was a realtor because I was introduced as a realtor. We did not talk about real estate. We talked about things that were going on in life at that moment. And I said, this lady is different. She's different. Yes, she's the wife of Cardone, Grant Cardone. And I'm sure she's the backbone too, because anytime you see a great man, there's always usually a greater woman behind or beside. Then weeks go by and Grant Cardone's office called me. And I was sharing this story this morning. I said, I don't know if they were looking for me. I was connected. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we shared a mutual friend that gave me a call and said they're looking for you to be on this platform. And I said, yes, I'm excited. I don't know who's on the platform. And in that 30 minutes, it was on Friday. I remember it like it was yesterday. 30 minutes, I made a decision. I made a decision. I want you to write this in the box. I made a decision to go from good to great. I made a decision to go from good to great because, see, I was thinking about retirement, which is why I kept saying no to eXp. I wasn't going to come over here and just be an individual and just be a realtor. No, I was going to come over here and work. And I wasn't sure if I was really ready to go in that direction. I've been working since at the age of 14. And so I make this decision and I partner with Elena Cardone. I don't partner with her because she's Elena Cardone. I'm watching her work. I'm watching her work ethic. I'm watching her be disciplined. We're talking about a billionaire. Like, she doesn't really have to be doing all of this. And so I said, I want to partner with her and I want to help her get to her next level, which, if you know anything about the law of reciprocity, when you serve, reciprocity comes back. And so I want to just, guys, the #1 growing organization in eXp. Some of you guys think she's last, but I saved the best for last, okay? And today we're ending our week, and Elena Cardone, I don't know if you can bring her up as a co-host on here. Oh, there she goes. Yes. Guys, this is Elena Cardone, the visionary behind 10X Ladies. I don't know if you've ever been heard of it, but you got to get in there, okay? And so, guys, I want to introduce to you Elena Cardone. And Elena, I want you to just, if you could just share some information about yourself, maybe that I missed. But the question all week has been, you don't got to do this. Why eXp? Why not create your own brokerage? Why did you decide to partner with eXp? Take it away.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. And what a blessing that you came to 10X GrowthCon, because you've enhanced my life. And thank you very much. I'd like to say a little backstory about, you getting that call. Like, I didn't talk to you about eXp the day that I met you, but I want you to know that in hindsight, that's a flunk on my part. It's a flunk on my part, because when I know, and I didn't know back then, because when I met you at that 10X GrowthCon, not the one you were talking about, Marlin Stadium during Super Bowl weekend, but when I met you in the last one just a few months ago, I had just become a licensed realtor with eXp. So I didn't have any confidence yet. I'm not a realtor. I mean, I just passed the license. Literally, I had been accepted into eXp 5 days before 10X GrowthCon because I had just got my license. So my excuse was, and I'm telling you this because you need to recognize the mistakes in yourself if you want to get ahead in life. I don't want to come here preaching, but I just wanted to clarify that when I heard you say that inside, I was like, cringe. Because when I know something is good and I really believe in it, but I didn't at the time because I didn't really understand it fully. But now that I do, and I know this model can make a difference and can change lives and can help other empire builders who are like fighting to get to the top, but don't know how to get to a heightened level. Like, those are the people that I want to help. And so when I don't tell you about something that I so am committed to, believe in, I believe that that is a transgression, a sin. That for me in my spiritual space, if I know something is good and beneficial to you and I withhold that information, that is a transgression of my personal integrity with myself, because I want you to do better. And if I withhold that information, I'm withholding you doing better or taking longer. So I just wanted to clarify that. The second thing is when Claudienne said, you know, she didn't talk to me about eXp, but then I get this phone call and she gets invited to speak as an expert that she is on a panel with my husband and some other great, phenomenal speakers that spoke at that. That is a strategic move. I rarely do things that are not strategic. Like, they don't just happen. I make them look like they just happen, but the magic is really behind the scenes. And so I know that I wanted to work with Claudienne. She was the first person of her caliber that believed in me in the beginning and left her 20-year relationship with her prior firm and believed in me to join. But before that had happened, I knew who she was. I had done my homework and she had a target on her back. If you want to know the backstory. And so I said, Grant, you need to have this woman speak. You see, because I do business with people who do business with me. This is another little hack in life. You know, so many people, especially, you know, Claudienne mentioned we're billionaires. We have about 16, 17 businesses. I don't say that to brag. I say that so you can really understand, for anyone that might not know me on this call, that you can imagine that a lot of people want me to do business with them. They want to collaborate. Oh, can you help me with this project? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Will you invest in this and that? And then Grant and I always look at them and we'll like, okay, you want us to do business with you, but you've never done business with me. You've never bought a GrowthCon ticket. You've never bought one of my products. You want me to do business with you, but you've never done business with me. So I know if I want like a Claudienne Hibbert, you know, that I like have to do business with her, show her an opportunity. How can I be of service to her? Not just me. So that was the other thing behind the scenes that you might not know about, but was very calculated. And look, it worked in the end. And I'm very grateful because Claudienne and I have an amazing collaboration together where we're really helping each other reach our goals. So now, having said all of that, why brings me to the next question that you had asked. Why did I join eXp? Why do I believe in this so much? It's because when I understood the model that I've broken down into 3 buckets, and I don't know if Claudienne wants me to explain those 3 buckets or just talk about why.
You could just take it away with why. Whatever you want.
Okay. So, but the reason why is because these 3 buckets that are offered to the agents that sign up with eXp. So briefly, and then y'all can get into detail about it later, but the 3 buckets are the agent traditionally comes in and they have their split with their agency, but it's like an ongoing thing and it never ends and there's never a cap. Well, with eXp, the agent actually has a better opportunity to hang on to more of that commission because it's an 80-20 split until you cap at 16,000. Once you cap at 16,000, you're at 100% commission. I like that. That bucket alone, plus the barrier to entry. You're not paying like a $10, $15, $20,000 franchise fee to join or something like that. It's $150 to join. Barrier to entry, very low. $85 a month. You get all these tools that come with that. So bucket number 1 alone makes me happy because I want to see the everyday person take home more of their hard worked hard-earned money. So bucket alone sold me. Bucket number 2 and bucket number 3 is what just sent me over the edge, saying I'm dedicating everything for the next at least 10 years, like going all in until I'm able to blow this up. And I'm doing that because of my spiritual legacy, which is I don't just want to be the woman behind the man, even though I am very proud of that. And because I have that statistic, you know, if I didn't have that statistic, I couldn't then have the confidence in myself to say, I did it for him, I can do it for you, by offering infrastructure, mindset, and support. Everything that I did behind the scenes of our empire, I now know what to do to bring to the table to help other people build out their empires. So I understand also, like, I actually have wealth now. I'm not just a poor rich person. I used to be a poor rich person. Then 2008 happened. We were on the verge of losing everything. And that's when I had the cognition, wow, there's such a thing as a poor rich person, because it can be threatened or taken away or lost at a given moment. When you are a wealthy person, not just in money, but also in abundance of courage and grit and integrity. But that's another time for another topic. You do have to have an abundance of wealth in order to sustain being punched and hit by economic collapses, or someone in your family getting cancer, or someone losing. I hear it. Okay, I hear a thing. I want other people to have the financial security, if not financial freedom, that's the end goal, but at least, at the very least, the financial security to be able to take care of yourself, to be able to take care of your family, your community, or how big that you want it to go. So as a wealthy person, I know that you cannot earn. Bucket number 1 is your earned income. That's from you selling a home and getting a commission. Bucket number 1, earned income, can never, you can't find me one person who got wealthy from earned income. You get rich from earned income. That's great, but not wealthy. And not everybody wants wealth, but wealth is a good thing when you really understand what you can do with wealth. You know, if you're a good person and you have wealth, you can do more good on the planet. You have more choices. So the reason I'm doing eXp is because of bucket number 2 and bucket number 3. The revenue share buckets, the second and the third sources of income that are not directly earned from bucket number 1, is what can help you have financial security. So briefly, I'm going to tell you what bucket number 2 is that eXp offers. Bucket number 2 is equity ownership in the company, meaning the agent who previously worked for other brokerages does not get a piece of that brokerage. Only the brokerage, the franchise owner, the international, the national reps get the ownership of the piece of that pie. The agent who does all of the work and turns it all over does not own the company. In eXp, when you come into eXp, you are bonused in 5 different ways to earn stocks in a publicly traded company. That is a big deal, to own a piece of the company that you work for. And it's willable. So you can will that to your kids, like long after you literally, and you know, I hate to put this pun here, but after you kick bucket number 1, this is an ongoing generational thing that you can leave to your kids, this equity ownership, very big deal. You want equity ownership in a company. Bucket number 3 also gives the agent rewards and bonuses for attracting other producing agents into eXp. And when you do that, and plus we're open in 18 countries. So now if you're an agent in California and your sister's in Florida, guess what? She can come into eXp. And when she sells a home, eXp is going to give you a little bonus because you brought in an agent who's transacting. So it has this multi-level marketing component, meaning they will bonus you up to 7 people deep in your organization. Meaning if I bring in Claudienne, she's number 1. I bring in Marissa, she's number 2. She brings in Joe, that's number 3. Lisa, Tanya, Jeannie or Jenny, sorry, Cassandra. Okay, all the way up to Cassandra. When all of these people are producing from anywhere in the 18 countries that we are open, you will get a bonus and receive every single month a check for your people that are producing. So there's this not passive, can't say that word, it's not passive. It's a leveraged income system. You're bonused for supporting the people in your group. And I just think that component is life-changing. It is also willable. You can leave this to your children. So that is why, Claudienne, I joined eXp, because, you know, I was never poor, but I was far from rich. When I was a child, we lived paycheck to paycheck. Very middle class upbringings. We were always worried about money, always. You could feel it in the house, you know, eat all your food, turn off the lights. I could hear my parents having conversations about being worried about paying for the school that I went to or how they were going to pay the house note. Like, it was stressful in our house, always about money. And now that I'm at a point in my life where I've learned a few things about money. If you're having money problems, you just have a misinformation about money. You get the right information about money, there's no reason why you can't have money in your life. You know, and so that's what I want. I want to see the change, even if it's an extra from bucket number 3. I remember my first check at eXp was $613.
I was just about to start talking about that, because you were one excited lady, and I kept saying, why is Elena so excited?
I called Claudienne. You were the first person I called. I said, I can't believe this. I had been in eXp for 2 weeks because I came in half of the month. So in 2 weeks, it wasn't even a whole month. I made $613 or whatever that number was. I just remember the $600, and I called Claudienne and I was like, Claudienne, this is real. Like, it works. All I've done is a couple of Zoom calls. This wasn't me hammering a sign in a front lawn. This was somebody else doing that. And then I realized, you know, $600 when I grew up as a child, $600 would have been night and day. Like, there wouldn't have been stress in our family with an extra $600 a month. That's what made me happy. Not everyone has the aspirations that I do. And that's another subject for another day. Why did I want to be a billionaire? Why do I want to be a multi-billionaire? Really has nothing to do with the money, really, even though I like to have the luxuries that come with it. It's really about expanding myself and growing and seeing who can I become? Like, how can I break out of this small little mold of this little girl that I'm supposed to be, you know, that never went to college, that always thought I wasn't smart enough, or that was for those special people, not for a normal person like me, you know? So I have my own reasons, and I know that I need that, because if I'm going to have other people go to those aspirations, I have had to do that myself. Also, it's just targets in the physical universe that I can assess. I met that, because it doesn't just happen. Like I said with Claudienne, nothing in Grant and my life just happened. Every move that we make is very analytical, calculated, has an impact and a purpose, and that's how we got there. So my point to that is no matter if you just want a little or a lot, like, you know, I'm here to help you. This team with eXp, we want to be the community that you want to be involved with, where you can be surrounded by other like-minded individuals, by people that are going to hold you accountable, that are going to, like, you know, maybe have a little bit of sympathy and understanding for your excuses, but they're not going to let you use your excuses to let yourself off the hook, you know, and that's really what a true friend is. You know, so this is who we are in our community. We all have a vested interest in going to heightened levels. and we all have a vested interest in helping each other achieve these goals, we're a team, we're a community, you know, we're a rare breed. But if that's you, you like this buckets, the 3 buckets that interest you, I'll turn it back over to Claudienne so she can answer further questions or give you more information about what you want to hear. But that's the long-winded answer on why I chose eXp, so that I can help all the other, you know, the little people. That's just how I was made to feel in my life. I'm not saying that I am a little person, and I would never call anyone on this call a little person. But in my head, that's what I'm always fighting for. I'm fighting for the little person, the me 20 years ago that never had anybody there, like saying, we can do this, let's go, you know, without the curtains open, giving me access to the real information that I needed to make myself have access to the life that I always wanted, quicker, faster, etc.
Wow, guys, let me tell you something. If you liked one thing that Elena Cardone had to say, just drop some fires. Let's show her our gratitude. She could be anywhere in the universe, literally. They just got a new plane, okay? My dreams and goals have just, you know, I've been fortunate enough to be on her helicopter, and I cannot wait to the day I call Elena Cardone. See, it's about reciprocity, guys. And I say, Elena, come on, girl, we're getting on my plane. And so I am motivated to another level. And I just know that the more we do, the more we're going to help. Guys, she is amazing. She could be anywhere in the universe right now, but she is here with us. And I just want to say, Elena Cardone is my direct sponsor. And it's not just about what she can do for us, but it's also about what we can do for her and our entire organization. And so, listen, we are in formation, okay? I am in alignment, okay? I'm gonna be like Grant and just steal that whole little information session, okay? I do it all the time. So guys, listen, sometimes you can have wrong information. In fact, I wanna share just one thing before we let Elena leave. I don't know if she's gonna hang out, but she has done what she came here to serve to do. But I've got a lady in my organization that's been a realtor for 8 months with 0 sales, and she was working, but she was doing the wrong work. She was giving the wrong information. And I know because she's only been with me for 5 months, and yet she's on her 16th closing because now she has access to the right in dash formation, okay? And so guys, this is amazing. That young lady is Gerline Toussaint, doing amazing things. Elena, I don't know if you're gonna be hanging around, but I'm gonna go over what eXp is about in about 20 minutes. If not, we appreciate you, we adore you, and we show you as much gratitude as we can possibly give and show, and we just love you for that. And so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. I love you all. Yay. Okay, take it away, Claudienne. Hopefully you come into the community and I see more and more and more awesome faces. Yay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Elena.
Bye.
So you heard the Southern, you heard the bye. I love it. Guys, I'm going to run through this really quickly. It is not designed for you to be here for hours. I don't want to, you know, spend 2 hours on just kind of telling you about, you know, why I decided eXp, but I do want to do one thing really quickly. Elena shared with you that I've been with one company for 20 years, and it's true. You know, some of you are going to have a hard time because you're complacent. Some of you are going to want to take risk and say, I want to go from good to great. But I'm going to go through this, and this is a 43-page document. This is a 43-page document. In fact, you know, I have such a great team. My team is so great, but if I could, I did ask them to go over and share the presentation, but can I take over the presentation for a quick bit?
Of course.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the help, I certainly do. But I want to hit a certain, let's just see here. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. All right, wait a minute. Where are we? All right, here we go. You know what? I want to start with the rev share. Can I start with the rev share? Do you guys see, Marissa, I can see you on my screen. Do you see the eXp rev share calculator?
No, we have a you and Elena graphic right now.
All right, cool. Don't worry. Maybe this is why I shouldn't have taken over. Do you see it now?
It is there, yes.
All right, great. So let me tell you really quickly, one of the reasons for my motivation for coming to eXp, and it's the rev share calculator, right? Not the calculator, but it's the rev share that we share in eXp Realty. See, what I love about the owner and founder of this company is that he's a realtor, guys. This isn't some guy who just came on, and decided they're going to start a real estate company. No, he had already been a realtor and experienced with KW. You can Google it, so it's not a secret. And I'll tell you this, I want to share this with you. He was a realtor for many, many years. He grew one of the largest organizations in KW, but he could not understand why his rev share did not grow exponentially. And so he decided he was going to start his own company. And so brick and mortar. Well, 2007-8 came, and guess what? His business failed. He had to shut his doors, but he didn't give up. I want you to write in the chat box, I'm not giving up. He did not give up because he had to close his doors. He came up with a model that's a cloud-based model, guys, where you can work from anywhere in the world that costs you $149 to join. Guys, that's amazing. I don't know about you, but the pandemic was a gift and a curse. See, it was one of my best years in real estate, and I couldn't understand. I said, how is this possible? I haven't even been to my office. I don't even know what it looks like anymore. It showed me that being in my office was not even the place to be. There's nobody I'm meeting at the office. It allowed me to, when COVID kind of settled a little bit, get out and meet some different people. And so I don't know, Lisa Reyes, are you there? I can see you on my screen. Can you unmute?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Lisa, how are you? Listen,
I'm great.
If you could work with me just for a second here, how many properties do you think the average agent sells in 1 year?
15.
All right. So the average is about 7. Okay. So the average agent does about 7 deals a year. Some of you like me, it's like, this is crazy. You're like over 100. No, but the average agent does about 7 deals a year. And let me ask you, Lisa, where are you tuning in from?
Mesa, Arizona.
All right. So she's in Arizona. Do you know what the national average sales price is?
Somewhere between 3 and 4. So I'd say probably about 350.
You'd say the average commission is about 3%?
Yeah, 3.
All right. How many people you think you can invite to this business in the first year?
Probably 10.
All right, so 10. Let's do 10. Now, I want you guys to pay attention for a second. These 10 people are going to only bring in, they're not on fire like Lisa bringing in 10 people in a year. Okay, they're only going to bring in 2 people each. These 2 people are only going to bring in 3 people each. And I just want to keep the numbers very, very low. And let me tell you something, if you don't know 2 people that will follow you, then we got to work on some personal development. You should have 2 people that be able to say, hey, listen, I want to take a look at this and at least give it a try, right? At least be open to look at the opportunity. But watch what happens here, guys. Okay, watch what happens here. Just got to move this out of the way. And I calculate this. Guys, but let me ask you, Lisa, would you mind an additional $1.288 million a year? And we're not talking about commissions. We're just talking about you inviting people who are producing in real estate already. Would you mind an additional $1 million?
No, not for a minute.
Exactly, neither would I. So watch what happens here. In my first 30 days, guys, because I was on fire, I took massive action. I am not an Elena Cardone. In no way am I comparing or dumbing myself down, but I don't got $1 billion. I just don't. And so realistically, just little old me that just took massive action. So watch this, 33 people came into my organization. I'm gonna leave the rest of the numbers the same. I'm not even gonna show you really what people have done in my organization, but let's just leave it at 33 for 30 days. I've only been in the company for less than 7 months. In my first 30 days, I brought in 33 people. I want you to see what my work is going to lead to. 8.9 million if the average is the average. If these people are producing and I keep inviting people to eXp, guys, do you guys think I mind $8.9 million outside of commission? If you like any of those numbers, even if it's 500,000, drop a number 5 in the chat box. Drop a number 5 in the chat box. Right? And this is not just about residential real estate. We also have a huge commercial side. I just closed my largest commercial deal in the history of me being a realtor. So this is a big deal, guys. Guys, so I want to move on really quickly because I want to get to the other side, okay? And if you don't mind, I don't want to go over 43 pages, okay? Is it okay if I just go over like the 4 or 5 pages that I feel is most important? Is that okay? I don't want to leave anybody out. All right, is this okay? All right, good. They said yes. Everybody's saying yes. All right, great. I can't pass Mr. Glenn Sanford. Remember that platform I told you I sat on? I didn't know who he was at the time, but he happened to be the owner of eXp, the founder of eXp. And I have been able to partner with Mr. Glenn Sanford, and Elena has already kind of shared with you how we're partners and not just employees and 1099. No, we are partners, and we're going to show you. I've talked a little bit about him, but I want you guys, I know he's not on here, but he's going to be on one of my Zooms one day. I know he is, right? So let's drop him some fire into the universe. And so we're manifesting right now, right? Yes, I've shared a stage with him, but I want him to be able to come one day and share the stage with us. How do you feel about that? Guys, so I want to go into, I don't want to skip this slide because I think it's important. You know, when I was in college, I would go and rent my Blockbuster movies and hurry up and get them back to the store before the late fee. How many people know what I'm talking about? I was broke in college. The ramen noodles were my favorite, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? And I just never thought in a million years Blockbuster would go out of business. They were almost on every corner, okay? I only started using Netflix during the pandemic. I was a movie girl. I want to go to the theater. Well, we couldn't go to the theater. They were closed. Now, what do you mean? Income producing activity? I don't want to go to the grocery store anymore in Target. I just order everything through Amazon. Sometimes it comes the same day. Guys, if we're not moving with the times, that means we're getting left behind. I'll share a quick story before I move on, guys, and we got about 10 more minutes here. I remember a girlfriend of mine telling me about Bitcoin. It was $200 a coin. I didn't believe in this crypto, and I'm like, you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. 2 years later, after that conversation, I'm putting a property in the MLS, multiple listing service, for some of you that are not realtors yet, where we all share, the realtors share the information of putting new listings on the market. There's a space in there that says ways of pay. What type of payments are you accepting? FHA, conventional, cash. Well, guess what popped up? Bitcoin. I said, oh my God, I think that's what Dr. Gibson was telling me about. I go to Google real quick. I forget all about the listing. I go to Google, I put in Bitcoin. It's like $2,000 a coin. And I said, oh my God, I missed the wave. It's just true. Then the next week, Target's taking Bitcoin. I'm like, oh my God, I messed up. But how many people know that if I would have known Bitcoin would have gotten to $60,000, I'd have bought it 2,000. The point here, guys, is that I missed an opportunity because I was in my own way. I did not believe. And so I was not going to allow eXp to grow without me. In fact, I bought stocks with eXp before coming over. And I said I wasn't coming, but I'm not going to let them leave me. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some stock. And then I realized I'm working at another company, growing their legacy and their empire, but my stocks are somewhere else. It didn't make sense. Guys, we have over 60 hours of training a week in what we call the cloud, our cloud office. Amazing. And I'm going to have Marissa, I don't know if you can try to pull it up or somebody can pull it up for me. I do want to have them go into the cloud today. I don't typically go there, but I want to do it today. And let me tell you, KV Core, the CRM of a lifetime. And I'm not even going to talk about it from eXp. I've been using KV Core for the last 7 years. To be able to have a system that's talking to people without any engagement from me is amazing. Remember when just recently Instagram and Facebook kind of went out the window for a little bit? I had my KV Core database and I was able to communicate through drip marketing, through KV Core. Talk about a lead generator for you. How many people wish they had a system that could talk to everybody without them always being at the forefront? That's KV Core. We call it our bread and butter. Real-time training. Yesterday, I had an issue. I went into Florida's office, the virtual office, pulled a ticket. The young lady was there. She walked us through as if we were right there in her office. Guys, I'm not even going to talk about this long, but in 90 days, I was able to do what I've not been able to do in 21 years in my profession. And that's to grow into 16 states. I'm not a broker. I do not have a brokerage in all of these states. Thank you, eXp, for allowing me the platform. But I'm in 16 different states in 2 different countries, 3 different countries. Guys, that's amazing. So talk about international collaboration, okay? I want to talk about really quickly where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, money reside. All right, so let's talk about where the money reside. You know, I've always wanted to be a school teacher. They just really didn't pay me enough. And so I didn't really go into that market. However, I'm going to be a teacher today, okay? Watch this. It's $149 to enter into eXp, okay? Very affordable, okay? You don't need $20,000 franchise fee and build out costs. You don't need all of that. You need $149 in your license. Can you handle that? Yes, yes, good. Yes, yes, yes. So watch what happens here. And I like to write this out so you understand, because a lot of people don't understand capping, right? So let's just say your commission, your first commission is $10,000. 80% goes to you. 20% goes to eXp, right? It's an 80-20 split. Watch what happens here, guys. I want you to pay attention because I was ridiculed. Claudienne, how are you going to leave your high commission paying company to go to an 80-20? When you start working for the masses, let me tell you, you get to remember Elena just said you can't do it by yourself? So I knew that formula and I said, man, this is great. This is great. So watch this. There are 2 commission checks here. 20%, let me just do this really quick, help you guys out. This is 8,000. This is 2,000 here. So you paid eXp 2,000 there. You get 8,000 here. I'm just using round numbers, guys, just to make math easy for me. All right. How much money have we paid into eXp thus far? Type it in the chat box. How much money have we Okay, 4,000. Okay, anybody 4,000? We've paid 4,000 so far into eXp. When that number turns to 16,000, it's called capped. Then you go to 100% commission. So I'm happy to say in less than 4 months, I was able to cap here at eXp. So I'm now getting 100% commission. I never got that before. I never got 100% commission before. Guys, so does this make sense? So now I'm able to enjoy 100% of my commission. Watch this. I'm just gonna go right into the stock options for a second. Is that okay? Is that okay? All right, good. Because this was also attractive to me. So when you cap and you do another 20 deals or 500K in GCI in income, for those of you that are not realtors yet, you get what's called icon status. And guess what? The company gives you back the $16,000 in stock. So you mean to tell me I'm gonna be, this is gonna be me by December 31st, because that's the goal I set. I'm gonna be rewarded $16,000 in stock? Wait a minute, Claudia, that means really, honestly, I've been making 100% the entire time. What happens with stock over time, guys? Yes, we hit dips, but ultimately, I truly believe one day I'm gonna open up my Google little search, and just like I see Amazon at $3 grand a share, I'm gonna see eXp at $2 and $3 grand a share. How many people wanna be a part of history? So really, I've been making over 100% commission? Guys, this is amazing. So that just brings me into this. There are 4 ways to get stock. I just told you one. Number 2, every year of my entry date, every year, the first deal of the year, I'm going to be rewarded $200 worth of stock on my first deal. That's every year for the life of being in the company. Watch this. Let's just say, hey, Tanya up there, I see you, Tanya Chambers. Let's say I introduced Tanya to the business, and now Tanya closes her first deal. Well, guess what? The company's gonna give her $200, and they're gonna give me $400 in stock. Let me tell you, I have gotten 21 awards so far of my frontline agents of getting stock. Guys, this is a big deal. I'm not worried about, oh, what is the market doing? It's granted to me. Who doesn't want free stock? Yes, it's based on production, but I did not have to go to the stock market to go and buy stock. The 4th way, which is optional, okay? I allotted my commission, okay? Every time I get a commission, I allotted 5% to go towards purchasing stock at a 10% discount. I'm gonna repeat that again. I'm not putting my money in Social Security. I'm watching what my mom gets from Social Security, guys. And it's not, if she didn't have us, she would be screwed. My mom didn't work for the government. She doesn't have all these extra layers of things. The only income my mom has is about $1,300 a month in income from Social Security. That's crazy. So guess what? I'm allocating 5% of my commission to go towards stock every time I get a commission at a 10% discount. And so that is the 4th way you could potentially gain stock in this company. And I want to just go over a couple more things. So you know it's $149 to start, $85 a month for the cloud brokerage fee, KV Core, Sky Slope, over the 60 hours of training you get. Mind you, we've got one of the coldest uplines of leaders, so everybody has training. So I'm gonna up that to about 75 hours of training free a week. Then you get access to the Grant Cardone 10X Live, right? Every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we have training. And I don't know about you guys, but if you miss training on Tuesday, you miss free tickets, okay? So we're gonna have free tickets to attend a session in January with Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone themselves. And I don't know if you've been in that arena, but your business is guaranteed, if you do the work, to triple. It's all about collapsing decades into a few years. And then you see it here, it's $25 per transaction, and then $40 risk management, which is your E&O error and omissions insurance. That disappears after you pay $500 of it, right? So we talked about the rev share. That's what you saw in the calculator. We get paid 7 levels deep. So invite, share the plan. We talked about the stock. We have healthcare options for you at a 60% discounted rate. Guys, I don't know if you've heard, you're gonna hear from Brian Culhane next week, Sharon Lecter next week. She's gonna be on our platform. And I'm gonna leave that story for Brian and even listening to Lisa's story, because let me tell you something, Lisa had just gotten her health insurance and got into an accident. And it's nothing more, nobody wants to get into an accident. That's why they call accidents. But guess what? She had healthcare benefits to cover her because of eXp. And so I just always want to mention that, guys. We talked about the CRM, the platforms. We kind of did that in this presentation. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Guys, it's a culture over here. It's a lifestyle. When I tell you I was asleep and ready to go into retirement, it is not a joke. I was getting tired. I was getting, I needed more energy. And I have to just say this, I was in Vegas and I heard the owner of the company on stage say to us, he is going to grow in the next couple of years, this organization to over 500,000 agents. All I can think of is, where am I going to fit in it? So I want you to ask yourself right now, have you heard enough to make a decision? Have you heard enough to make a decision to come and partner with one of the best teams in eXp? Just ask yourself. And if you're a guest on here right now, just drop a number 5 in the comment box. If you are a guest on here, you're not a part of eXp, drop a number 5 in the box. I did not get a chance to welcome you. I was just so fired up. So I just want to take some time, Shirai, AJ Noel, C21, Skylar Black, Lakeisha Stephanie, to welcome you today. Okay, if you are not, let me tell you something. Whoever invited you to this call today, I want you to take this very seriously, guys, because this could change the trajectory of your life, your income, and your family, and your legacy. If whoever invited you to this call today, if it's Tanya, if it's Marissa, if it's Lisa, if it's Jeff, I want you to go back to that person today and text them. And I want you to say, I'm ready to go. And if I invited you to this call, I want you to just simply send me a text and say, I'm ready to go. I'll know exactly what you're talking about. And we'll get you started. And so, guys, if you have any further questions, I'm always here. I'm here for the team. Listen, I'm going to drop my number here in the chat box. If you have any questions past this, in fact, let's do this. Do I have time to, I got 1 minute left. Can we go over about 2 minutes today? Can we do that, Marissa? I want to open it up. I want to open it up for questions and answers right now. If anybody has a question that they want to get clarity on right now, they don't want to wait because you're fired up and you want to get back to the person who invited you here, go ahead and just ask me. Just unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself and take the question away. Hey, Jeremy. Listen, guys, that was an example of our world. I was in there yesterday getting some help. Totally amazing company. We are the metaverse. I am not going to allow what happened to me in the past happen to me again. And listen, Brian Culhane, who is one of our honorary co-founders, this is his platform. And so I definitely want to say thank you, Brian. I don't know if he's here or not, but I wanted to definitely, you see Culhane Groups, that is his team. I definitely want to say thank you for having me every Thursday, second Thursday of the month on your platform. It is an honor and I'm very appreciative. Thank you. Guys, have a great day. See you next time.
Thank you again, Claudienne.
You're welcome.
Way to be, Claudienne.